Good luck.
And yeah, good luck. I mean, it's so scary. Queen e5 check is a massive threat right now. Purely because, as Judith mentioned, the white pawn is closer than the black pawn. Okay, he does push. Wow. 1 minute against 2. It's more important that Abasov actually keeps some time on his clock, because it's harder to defend here than it is to kind of play the side with the extra pawn, where you can give all the checks in the world. But he's defending well, so well right now. Hanging by a thread.
And black is threatening queen a2 check with h2. King f6.
Playing for checkmate.
King f6, queen c3, or queen a1.
Yeah, some checks.
King
So
up to
easy
f7.
lose control here, but
Queen h5, queen g6. Maybe he wants back to home base. Abasov surprised.
Queen a2, queen d5.
Oh god.
ooh,
Queen f2.
Queen f5. No, queen
h7.
f2.
Jeez.
Queen f2.
Oh, I take it. Queen f5, I take it and go h2, and black wins.
Oops.
let's quickly put that one on the board, because it is a trick. Queen a2 check we think is the best move here. White can block. Don't take this, because actually in this position white would win. We see simultaneous promotions, and ultimately it's white who delivers checkmate. But yeah, just to point out the other trick. A few moves ago, black of course won't trade queens on white's terms.
Hey,
instead he'll
we've
hope
seen
for
everything.
queen f5. And
We've seen everything this round. Why not this? Why won't we get a black victory in this position? That's what we're
this
missing.
reminds me of the film Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Exactly.
With, these
exactly.
h1, a8 promotions. But yeah, queen a2 on the board. So well played there from Abasov in this position.
So what do you think? Is this going to be a draw? Or white wins? Or black
I'll
wins?
say yes. I think he's doing it all right.
A draw, yeah?
I'll say yes to all three results, but I think
Yes.
Abasov is going to hold.
I mean, it's like the Uber driver tells you, have a nice flight. Yes. I mean, I feel like it would be consistent. It would be beneficial for my prediction, because this is exactly how I thought it would happen. I thought that Perugia would lose with white. Abasov would hold the completely lost position he had. Nepo would hold the lost position he had. And Caruana would hold the lost position he had. And Abasov is taken. So exactly what I said. Queen endgame number 1 has been retired. And let's pour some new wine into old bottles, or old wine into new bottles. And more queens appearing on the board momentarily. A pawn endgame that lasts about 2 seconds. Literally.
And we will be treated to another 50 moves, most likely.
Yep.
We're at move 80 now. But this one should be, I'm not going to say relatively straightforward, because
but
queen endgame's never
how easy is it to blunder a queen trade, or to blunder a discovery? I mean, after this long of play. But you're right. I think Abasov, he should hold unless he blunders something big.
It's move 80. What a tough game.
See. I'm hoping secretly for 49 moves, and then white pushes the pawn, then another 49, then he pushes the pawn to e6, then another 49 to e7. We could get to move 300. Easy. Easy. I think the world record is 269 moves, so they can beat it. They can do it.
This isn't easy.
Yeah.
This is not easy. Where do you go?
See the blue
No,
arrow
actually,
up
the
here,
king is not in a very good place for black, I believe.
Is that the only move? Surely not. Surely
Okay.
king h8 should be.
King h6.
What's he plays the best one. Abasov keeping his king nice and safe, only vulnerable to one check.
Uh-oh.
Go back.
Where now?
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Uh-oh.
King F. Apparently a mistake. King F5,
Wow.
Queen F1.
King F5 and Queen F4.
Oh my gosh.
Queen H3.
Oh, wow.
King F6, but Black plays Queen B5.
But we shouldn't forget, maybe it's table base and winning in 98 moves.
158,000 moves. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we think, oh, maybe King F5.
Queen C5, the king goes back to H6. Someone was saying in the chat, but Queen C5, King H6, Queen F8, King H7, and the king does manage back to home base.
Queen F5 check there, though.
Wait, Queen C5, King H6, and then you can move your king maybe to F7. No, but
Queen
then Black takes the
F3?
pawn.
Queen F5 and Queen E6.
But Black can take the pawn.
Oh.
I was a bit naughty there. I did check. Queen C5 is the only winning move. It's not obvious at all.
And
King
how
H6?
many moves it's winning?
That I don't know, but Queen C5.
I think I got it. I think Queen C5, King H6, Queen F8, King H7, Queen F5, King H8, and King F7. And there's no stalemate. Queen C5 to F8 to F5.
Wow.
That's the key square.
And the queen on H1 is just standing on the only place where it's losing.
What a pattern. Is he going to find it?
But there's no way.
It's Gukesh.
Minimal chance here. If he does, he deserves this win and more. He will join the lead, remember, Gukesh, with a victory, but he'll need to earn it the hard way. Queen C5 to F5. This is why queens are so bad in the corner. I've had it multiple times as one side promotes, but they can never get their queen out of the corner because it's so poorly placed.
He has played King F5. F5. Oof, back to a draw.
It's still winning.
Queen
F1 though.
Maybe not.
One check.
Queen F1.
The blue arrow appears yet again. The computer sharing its thoughts. Queen G2 apparently.
Queen G2. What a cold-blooded move.
That's the only way.
Queen G2 E5, Queen G6, King F4, Queen G4, mate.
Wow, and he gives a check. He doesn't find the draw.
But it's also
Queen
a draw.
G2. Apparently not.
Sorry? No?
Apparently Queen
Queen
F4
E5?
and White is winning again. Is it
E5?
Queen E5.
E5?
Oh, Queen E5, and he's going to move the king with check and force the queen trade. And that's it.
And it's, yeah.
It's a queen trade that White is going for, not checkmate, not pushing the pawn. Queen F1, King E6, and then Queen F5 check or Queen F6 check.
Wow.
Gukesh gets up. He knows it. That's it.
Oh.
Gets up with 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Alpha move.
And Abasov just realizing the problem.
You can see it on his face there on the camera, shake of the head. He missed this last move. He had time, he had 3 minutes, but Queen G2 there was extremely hard to find. Queen endgames are extremely hard in general. And wow, what drama. It's going to be huge for the tournament standings.
Yeah, and the narrative is going to be Abasov makes the blunder in a drawn position, but let's be real. Queen G2, Queen E5. Would Abasov have drawn that and made another 50 accurate moves? My guess is probably not. So, the reactive headline is, it was a draw until the very end. In reality, the true texture of the game was a lot more subtle than that. It was a back and forth game, Gukesh missing that earlier win. And it was a heroic defense by Abasov until really the very end. Queen endgames, the bane of our existence collectively.
Yeah, what a boss move though, just standing up, pacing around, just showing your opponent that you know what's about to happen. And poor Abasov after defending so well. But as you say, Daniel, he's been under pressure pretty much since just after the opening, and deep exhale of breath, he gives a check, but
King F6.
queens are coming off. be game over. 2 more moves and the queens will be traded. Gukesh will not miss this chance.
Wow, we've seen players do this. Jan was doing this yesterday. They see the winning move, but they compose themselves for those extra 15 seconds, just making sure they're not hallucinating. And that fearsome look said it all. King h6, queen h2 mate, king g4. There is a check on f5. Abasov, you can't hide your emotions after 6 hours of defense, only to see it all come crashing down. Queen g5 and queen f5 is going to bring the curtains down one last time.
What a disaster for Abasov. He could have saved the game, but from practical point of view, it was almost impossible to do so, I played.